Hello, everyone. Great to be here today. It's been an interesting 2 days event so far. And today I'm speaking to you as a member of a startup called AZ Bicycle Courier. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to. Yes, so this is it. I'll be speaking to you as a member of a startup called AZ Bicycle Courier, which is based here in Lagos State, again in Nigeria. It's a smart mobility approach in the supply chain logistics in Lagos. This group is made up of young professionals, young people who have passion, a similar passion for making impact using cycling. And we came together to champion this, and we've constituted ourselves into a group called Cycling Consults International. And the AZ Bicycle Courier is one of our interventions to impact the transport of small goods and services in Lagos State. So I'll quickly take you through our slides. Our aim is to showcase, share our own startup. We're in a private sector, share our startup, share our learnings, and open ourselves up for partnership, for also funding initiatives, and then to get learning from other people who are working in this space. It was interesting to share yesterday, and I hope you enjoyed this one too. I'm here with, on our call today is one of our members who is very passionate as well. Her name is Ayewu Murphy. You'll meet her later on the call. And I'm sure one or two of our members will join in from their various walks of life. I want to ask, how many bicycle messengers exist in your community? You know, for us here in Lagos State, logistics business using motorbicycle is the order of the day. They basically constitute a large portion of traffic on the road. But I don't know, for you who is listening, who is participating in this forum now, if you have experience of bicycle messengers within your community. So just some quick facts that we need to know. The proportion of Africans who now live in cities is higher than India, and even roughly equal to China. We also have that, aware that the current rates at which Africans are flocking to the cities, it's more than 30 or 300 million of us will become city dwellers in the next 20 years. This was research done by a McKinsey outlet. Okay, so because of our transportation needs, people need to go to work. People need to commute from one place to another in search of one need or another. Makes us, you know, take up to the streets. And this is what we see. This is a common scenario here in Lagos. This is what we experience in Lagos State often. The roads are often jam-packed with commuters. You know, so I believe that if we are working to improve road safety in Africa for cyclists and pedestrians, it would be equally great that we encourage innovations in the transportation sector that have the capacity to transform our communities, such as bicycle messengers. That will be it for the brief opening. Then here is a very important statistic that I love to share from Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority. They talk about the air quality, Lagos Air Quality Monitoring Study of 2007-2009. It might sound quite far back when the population was relatively lower than what we have now. Now we have over 20 million persons who are residents in Lagos. This monitoring study revealed that vehicles contribute approximately 43% to the total level of air pollution in Lagos. Over a quarter of the transport sector contribution to CO2 emissions in Nigeria comes from Lagos alone. So that's over a quarter of the CO2 emissions. This is a great deal. So the emission factors of many Nigerian vehicles are close to the Euro 2 standard, which is 3 to 4 times greater than European values. these are not good numbers. Look at when the study was done, by our own local authority here, and then what will be happening. These are things that we seek to mitigate when we promote innovations like bicycle courier for delivery of goods and services at the last mile. So we said this innovation, AZ Bicycle Courier, bicycle messengers, it came to mind during the COVID period when the streets were deserted, when there were not many people on our roads, cars were, parked in the garages. And I rode somewhere in Lekki. This is the link bridge connecting two communities in Lekki Phase 1, between Lekki Phase 1 and Ikoyi. And the idea came to my head, and I shared it with my group, and then we started looking at how we could make the bicycle messenger work. So we transport office documents, food packs, pharmaceutical products, and other small goods in the city center. So like I said, we are a startup. We've already carried out our MVP, minimum viable product, and then we have some feedback on some of our runs. Unlike a motorbicycle that runs from one end of the city to another, we may not have that leverage, and so we focus within city centers, various communities within the cities, just to ensure that we can bridge the gap between these deliveries. So I'll invite AU to take us through the target market. So AU, please.
Hi, my name is AU Mofiakpe, but AU for short. So just to introduce myself, I'm a lawyer, but I'm very much interested in the issue of sustainability and climate change and anything to improve and to save the planet. And I think AZ Bicycle Courier is one way to provide the customer needs and also save the planet, because as Dennis said, Lagos is the most populated city, I think now in Africa in general, and then in Nigeria, it is the most populated city. And we're either constantly suffering from gridlocks to flooding and whatnot. So in coming up with this business idea, we have done our user research that guided the target market and any other thing that we have discussed and will discuss as the presentation goes on. So we used surveys, surveys done online virtually as this business idea kicked off during the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic year before last and last year. So we did the online surveys, and then when the restrictions due to the pandemic were events and we did physical, visited eateries, fast food restaurants, normal middle class or highbrow restaurants, and pharmacies, beauty stores around our first coverage area, which is Lekki Phase 1, which is a community in Lagos. And then we also sent out online surveys to our contacts, friends in different groups. So from business owners to medical doctors, lawyers, and anybody really who is in the business of sending things from one end of the city to another end of the city, or from one person to another. And so the feedback we got, some of the pain points of the customers were the fact that right now, most of the courier companies or individuals who run courier business are either careless with their products. So they have a product that is scheduled for delivery, and then upon being delivered, it's in a different state, in a bad state from how it was taken from the owner. Then late delivery, which is mainly due to either traffic or maybe the motorbikes they either get breakdown or they are stopped by police officials for lack of maybe proper documentation or using the wrong routes. Then also etiquette of the drivers, also the fact that some of them didn't really know how to communicate with the people, the person that they're going to deliver the goods to. And rather than explain the situation, they either switch off their phones or they respond in a rude manner. And then the last was because of the complication and how the city is, Lagos as a city, some of the drivers, because I mean a part of Lagos, and another part of Lagos have their own different complexities. So most of the drivers sometimes they get lost. So the fact that they don't use Google Map or maybe the map system that the organization uses isn't updated, so they easily get lost and can't find the delivery spot or the delivery address. So in trying to address all of this informed our business model and our MVP. So in building our app, we plan on having a tracking system whereby the moment your goods or your package or your parcel is handed over to the driver, you can immediately track your goods and track the driver and know where he is at a particular time of the day. Then the fact that the Google Map is embedded into our application, the driver can easily move around the city and not get lost. And because of the way our app is going to eventually be built, we can see the interaction between the driver and the customer at each moment. So for our business model, we plan on partnering with companies, starting first with companies that send packages, organizations, fast food, restaurants, pharmacies, beauty stores, within our location, then eventually move into direct customer service, as people can call in or schedule a pickup and delivery using our application. So the utilization of bicycles helps in meeting the growing demands, because sometime last year or year before last, there was a policy released by the government banning the use of motorbikes. So at that point in time, it affected a lot of businesses because most of the courier companies use motorbikes. So a lot of people either got shut down or they had to wait until the ban was lifted. So it affected businesses. But eventually, it didn't affect bicycles because the use of bicycles is not popular within the city. So we meet that demand and meet the growing, should I say, futuristic goal of the city of Lagos. Then we're environmentally conscious and we use professional driver. Environmentally conscious, I would like to raise the point that because of the way the city is built, we suffer from flooding during high peak rainy season. So at that point, motorbikes can't move, but at certain points, only bicycles, if you're using bicycles, can move, kind of maneuver through the city because we don't use fuel or any form of chemical substance. Then we have this scheduled pickup and spontaneous runs also, which is embedded into our platform. And the fact that we plan on working with businesses, B2Bs, that already helps in advertising and pushing us out there, and then our customized gears.
Thank you so much, AU, for taking us through the target market and the business model. So we have a video to share that really encapsulates all that we've been talking about. So please, Janine, if you're there, please could you share the video with us? And then we try to wrap up. This is actually a very short session and we're going straight to the point. Hello, my name is Dennis Kange, the founder of AZ Bicycle Courier company. AZ Bicycle Courier company is a logistics company that uses bicycles and app to deliver goods and services, small commodities, to offices and business centers within city centers. We're located at Lekki Phase 1, and we make deliveries, pickups, scheduled pickups, and spontaneous deliveries of parcels, printed documents, even food packs, lunch packs to offices and business centers. Now in Lekki, there are needs, there are so many, there's an increased demand for delivery services, especially during the COVID-19 period. And what this does is takes away the inefficiencies and the challenges of vehicular courier services. So using the bicycle, you don't have to use fuel. It's reliable, it's quicker, it runs through traffic without any distractions. The traffic cannot stop the bicycle. But the biggest impact that using bicycles to do courier delivery services in city centers, it takes away carbon emission because it does not use fuel. With the bicycle, you just have to go, you're ready to move on the go, and then it cuts down the huge challenge of carbon emission in the environment. So when we do that, we're able to reduce environmental degradation of carbon emission. It is very beneficial to use bicycles because most of the delivery needs are little documents. And why use a motorbike? Why use a motorized vehicle that has fuel, that is going to add to traffic, that is going to lead to carbon emission on the street, when you can actually use bike messengers and courier using bicycles to do that? It's cheap, very cheap compared to using motorbikes and other means of delivery. Within the city centers, as little as 500 or less, you can deliver or receive your goods at a very reliable time. We also reduce the dependence on fuel. Thank you so much. So that is a brief recap of all that we're doing, and we're open to partnership with various entities in and around Africa. Here are some benefits of the AZ Bike. Just before we wrap up, we just have a few minutes to wrap up. It creates employment for young riders. Will create jobs such as bike mechanics for young people to serve as a way to create demand on governments for building cycling infrastructure such as NMT, and a great way to improve the environment. We have a startup costs around what we're doing, but that may not be necessary now. So I just want to say thank you for the audience, for the participants, and I hope that you can share your thoughts and comments with us on the email on display so that we could move this forward as part of our interventions here in Lagos. And maybe AO has one or two parting words to share. All right, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dennis. Appreciate your time on this, and I appreciate your contributions to this year's annual Forum for Africa's Walking and Cycling Network. Thank you for your effort that you went into and for sharing that incredible video. I wish you success in the next portions of this enterprise. And thank you for joining us for this session, everyone.
Thank you so much, Janine.
In the next one.
Thank you very much. Thank you all of you for your great work to really enjoy these 2 days of engagements. All the best. Yeah.
Thanks, Dennis. And thanks, everyone. Looking forward to seeing you in the next session. Cheers for now.